All right, so your account will come preloaded with what we call the CAN system, CAN, the Client Active Nurture System. So today we're going to go over how to activate that and what it does. So let me pull this lead back over here for now. So I'll show you the automations and how this is built, but I want to teach you the concept first. So first off, when a new lead comes in, it should appear in the new lead area. If not, you would go to your contact and you can always create the opportunity down here under the opportunity section. You just click add, select buyer or seller pipeline, and so you can start them in the new lead stage. We'll get to what the other ones mean here in a second. But once it's in there, we pre-configured these values based on conversion rates at each stage, on a $300,000 sales price, on a 3% commission. It's kind of just what we figured. You could go into the automations and edit the values if you want, but that's what our math, that was where we configured it on. So we figure a 3% conversion rate on new leads, scheduled calls, and nurtures. 1 out of 30 will convert. We leave them as new lead until we've spoken to them. And then once we've spoken to them, hopefully on a scheduled call, but just once we've spoken to them, you can click and drag them to nurture, active, or client. What are those? So nurture, we think they're just browsing, just looking, just thinking about doing something, buying or selling. They're kind of a shot in the dark. They might even be looking for a family member or something like that, or somebody else. So that's, there's just we detect there might be something that'll happen in 6 months or a year. It doesn't matter timeline, but we're just not, we don't think they're ready to take action yet. Oops, let me move that back. It's going crazy. Okay. What is going on here today? Let me refresh this page before I go crazy. Active leads, they are, we detect a sale, a listing or a sale there for sure. We know they're going to do something. We're just not 100% sure it's going to be with us. We're worried they might leave and go use another agent or something like that. We're not sure they're sold on us. So these are kind of like we need to watch over these. I'll go over the manual follow-ups with these in a second, but they're hot leads that we need to convert. And then clients, we're 100% sure they're going to buy or sell with us. We're just got to go through the motions of listing or finding the home or whatever. And you'll see that's where we get the 3% of 300,000. That's a for sure sale. So these count as a for sure sale. We think a quarter of these will convert. That's why you saw the 2250. And then the nurture, we think 1 out of 30, 1 out of 30, 1 out of 30 is what we kind of think here. Maybe scheduled call, they're a little better, but we just don't do anything until we move them to active or client in terms of that value. When you move them to under contract, obviously that's when they're under contract. I think the value updates to a for sure sale. You can change it to reflect your accurate commission by clicking on it and changing it if you'd like. And then when you move it to closed, it will actually sit there for 24 hours so you can still see it. And then it will look like it disappears. But that's because you're only viewing open opportunities here. You can see you can drag things to won or abandoned or lost down here at the bottom. So you can view those other statuses by changing it to all or one. We have an automation set that after 24 hours, this will convert from open to won. So it will go away, but you could just select one and see all your closed sales because you won that opportunity basically. So that's how the visual works. Now there's a couple different things it triggers and one that would need turned on. So nothing auto emails or text is automatically turned on in your account. We wanted you to make sure you turn that on so it's not sending a bunch of stuff without your knowledge. But the manual is turned on by default. So if you drag a client to active, for example, it's going to remind you every 7 days to send a text, then another 7 days, make a call. 7 days, send a text. 7 days, make a call. So it's going to do that automatically. And you'll see that in the dashboard. If you go to your manual actions section, you can actually click it and it will take you to those manual actions here. And you'll be able to see it, which is under conversations. So if you go to conversations, it's the second tab, click on manual actions. You have your list of texts or calls here, which you can select which workflow triggered it. So you could see your client manual follow-ups, your actives, your buyers or sellers. You could select that, or you could just see all if you have that here. And then the pipeline updates, this is what triggers the money value whenever you move it. So you can see here, it'll create that opportunity with their name and change the value if it's active to 2250. Now, a quick overview on the workflows again. This is what triggers. And this is all set and pre-configured. There's nothing you have to do. I'm just explaining how it works. This is your trigger up here, which you can see the trigger is pipeline active. So when that status is changed to that, this is the trigger, right? Then these actions happen. So you can see it adds the opportunity as active stage, and it removes them from buyer or from client and all the other automated campaigns that they might be on. This is what needs turned on. And you can see it said need to activate in parentheses here. So these are our automated follow-up campaigns. For new leads, there's also auto texting. So for buyer new lead and seller new lead, there is auto texts that go out as well. For your client actives and nurtures, there's no auto texts, it's all emails. So you'll see, you can ignore the videos part of this. It was just from our campaign, or maybe we fixed it by the time we deployed it in your account. But this will, a client, it's just going to give them explanations on mortgage types, how inspections work. And you can edit these templates in your template section of your account if you don't like them. You don't have to turn these on, but I just want you to know that they're there. Clients, it's sending them explainers. Actives, it's sending them, hey, would you like to see some homes? Or it's a little different on the seller side. And then nurtures, it's sending them things to spark conversations like, what are the top 3 things you're looking for in a home? Or it's obviously different on the seller side, but I'm just trying to give you an example. So how do you turn these on? So you come to your active, say you want to turn the active auto campaign on so that when you change the status to active, it will automatically apply this drip campaign. All you've got to do is hit publish and save. When you do that, you can see it's been saved. We come back, this has been published. So it is active. It will work now. Just leave it off by default. And you can see the total people who have went through it is total enrolled, and who is currently in that workflow. It would have a number there. You can actually click on it and see which person that is that's on that campaign. So if that was a lot for you and then I lost you, it'll be very, very simple for you. This is pre-configured to work if you just click and drag it. But if you want to turn on the automated communication, auto emails and texts, just come to here, come to these, and each one at a time, hit publish and save. That's all you have to do if you just want it to work for you and you're not worried about all the complication I just gave you explaining the whole system. If I lost you, just go in and turn it on if you want the system to do the work for you. But we just, like I said, we didn't want everybody to get auto emails and texts going out whenever they do this without them, without them knowing that's going to happen. So that's why we set it so you have to turn it on manually. So any questions or problems, don't hesitate to reach out to support, but just wanted to give you a guide on the client active nurture system, the CAN system. So hope that's helpful. And